Good evening, everyone. I don't know how many folks we'll have tonight with the Braves game. We're not going to be on too long tonight. Just about our 30-minute usual show here. Get a few things talked about uh, and see what we can get going on here in Rockdale County on this week from Rockdale. First thing I'd like to talk about is, if you guys will indulge me, is talking about the finishing up the season for the 6U Social Circle Redskins. This week, the Redskins were in the playoffs, and we were in the quarterfinals, and we played the Walnut Grove Warriors, and we defeated the Walnut Grove Warriors 34-7. We had a really good game, good offense, good defense. Then we Thursday night we played the semifinals against the Monroe Purple Hurricanes. And guys, it was a tough game. Uh, there was a questionable call. We were tied 6-6 at the end of the second quarter. We did a defensive stop, had all three timeouts left. We're doing a final drive right as time ran out. Our tailback broke a 40-yard touchdown run. The play was called back. They called the running back for holding. He threw a stiff arm, a defensive tackler off of him, and and believe it or not, guys, they called the running back for holding when he stiff armed the defensive player. Um, that really was a momentum breaker for the kids. We went in tied at halftime, came back out. Tough third quarter. They scored twice on us. We held to a scoreless fourth quarter. We lost 18-6, but in my opinion, that was the championship game. The Purple Hurricanes went on to Saturday to defeating the Newton Hurricanes 38-8. So we played a great game. We had an excellent year this year. Very proud of the young men for learning the game, and we played the game the right way. We played against some teams whose coaches did not teach sportsmanship, and they didn't teach the kids the right way. But I'm just proud of our young men that even at 6 years old, we taught them sportsmanship and the right way to play the game. So just thank you to all the parents who brought their kids out to play, and just thanks to everyone that was involved in the youth football this year in Social Circle and Walton and Newton counties. So just thank everybody for that. Just glad to have been able to play a small part in coaching and helping formulate those young men's love for the game of football. Let me say hi to a few folks there. We got Charlotte Gellert, we got Michelle McGee, Cheryl Garcia, we got George Kelichek, the taxpayer. We got Tom Harrison watching this evening. We got William Campbell. We got Dan Burks. Again, I'd just like to thank all you guys for tuning in. And we're going to keep this show short tonight because I know all you guys, if you're not, you're doing double duty right now. You're glancing at me and getting ready to watch the Braves tonight. Same thing that I'm getting ready to do, guys. I'm going to do a short show here tonight, and then I'm going to go and enjoy the Braves game also. So I've enjoyed this series, enjoyed watching the Braves, and I'm going to continue that. Second, I'd like to talk to you about tonight is the Conyers municipal elections. Guys, there are 9,666 eligible voters in the city of Conyers. And as of to date, in early voting, we've had 188 voters. That's 1.94%. That's less than 2% of eligible voters have participated in this early voting for the municipal elections here in the city of Conyers. Um, just makes me wonder, is there really a need for 3 weeks of early voting in municipal elections? We can look at municipal elections throughout the state of Georgia, and you were going to find these extremely low numbers where 5% may be a high number. Um, and these elections are very important in these municipalities because these municipalities dictate a lot of the rules and regulations and things that go on in the counties. So we have councilmen that are up for election in the city of Conyers, and we have a total of 188 votes so far, and that's probably 50% of the vote that's going to happen. We will probably have council members elected less than 500 votes, and it'll be probably divided among the two districts. So you may have a couple hundred votes in each district. So, guys, I mean, you're electing people who will guide the city of Conyers, and we're going to have less than two eligible voters probably do that. 2.5% maybe. Like I said, there are 9,666 eligible voters in the city of Conyers. And up to date of early voting, we have 188 votes have been cast. And that is 1.94%, less than 2% of eligible voters. Guys, that is just ridiculous. We need to do better than that. And if we're not going to do better than that, then we don't need to have 17 days of early voting. Let me say hi to a couple more people. Lisa Lancaster's joined us, and Danielle Munoz. Hello, Danielle and Lisa. Glad to have you guys join it. If I had mentioned earlier, you guys didn't hear, I'm going to keep the show short tonight so we can all get off of here and enjoy the Braves and not have to tolerate my reckless, random rambling. So, it is just crazy, guys, that, we have 9,666 eligible voters in the city of Conyers, and we have 188 people have decided to cast early voting. And like I said, we will be lucky to get 100 to 500 votes total for this general election, for this municipal election. So, guys, I encourage you, get out and vote. Decide on a candidate. Do your research. Pick the candidate that represents your values the most, and elect that person, because these elections do matter, because your tax dollars are spent by these individuals. They make votes to spend on your tax dollars. And since we're talking about tax dollars, let's talk about the Board of Commission. They are going to have a hearing to discuss the budget for this coming next year. The county is looking at an $83 million budget. That's up from $79 million last year. The budget has increased from the time that Oz Nesbitt has been chairman, from around $62 million to the $83 million, which is an increase of $21 million since 2017 to now. If we can look at what we've done with that, a lot of that has been what we've referred to on this program as a taxpayer's job program, where we increase a lot of the salary and the we add employees to it. The Rockdale Sewer Authority is sewer department. I mean, rainwater department. We call it the stormwater department is a big example, who had went from a handful of employees years ago to close to 30 employees now. And what that did was that strained their revenue. The revenue got strained. They were their budget allocation was up to around to where they were collecting. So they've had to go into borrowing funds to finance projects in the future, because the amount that they're bringing in barely pays for the salaries of the individuals that they've put in the program in the stormwater department to actually be in the stormwater. And very few of those people are actually in the field. They're office personnel. So, back in the day when we had 5 or 6 people and we would contract this out, then we got things done. Now we're dependent on taking out bonds to be able to for projects for the future, for stormwater projects. So I don't know if that's the smart way or the right way to do that. And for me, I don't think so. I'm going to show you guys a picture next. George Kelichek had sent me some photos, and this next photo is of the Mcelroy Mill Dam, which is one of the sources that feed one of the creeks. So I'm going to show this to you guys. You guys see this? This is the creek there. You see that sand, that silt build up there. George says that's about 10 foot high, and it goes about and it's like a 3 mile long stretch of silt. and you can see there's the where the water enters from the dam, downstream, going to lead to the reservoir, and look at all that silting that is restricting water flow. So I find it interesting. We look at this photo here, and these are one of the things that George Kelichek and his organization is concerned about, and I know they have actually built. I mean, they are organizing an additional organization for this to protect this watershed. And from what I understood this week, I got some information from George Kelichek and Bill Campbell about another authority, the Big Haynes Creek Impoundment Authority, which actually precedes the Rockdale County Water and Sewer Authority. And the intent of the Big Haynes Creek Impoundment Authority is actually to oversee and protect the watershed area that feeds the reservoir that provides the drinking water for Rockdale County. And from what I understand about this authority, it has also been neglected by the city and the county. That the city and the county both are supposed to provide members to this authority. I have reached out to the legislature to give me a status on this authority, just to make sure that this authority is still an active authority that is recognized by the Georgia State Legislature. Now, from what I was able to read in the in the code of Rockdale County, that this authority was established in the same manner as the water authority, Rockdale County Water and Sewer Authority. It was established by an act of the Georgia legislature. So I have reached out to the legislature to find out and make sure that this authority is still active and recognized as an authority by the Georgia legislature. If this authority is still recognized as an active authority by the Georgia legislature, then the city of Conyers and the Board of Commissions then will have some answering to do. Why, again, do we have a board or an authority that's responsibility is to oversee the drinking water of the county has been neglected to be filled by our governing entities? Folks, I'm going to just tell you, governing entities do not like civilian oversight, especially when it comes to things like drinking water and things, because a lot of times they like to do favors with businesses and let them do things that out of sight, out of mind. So, we've got to make sure that we're doing the right thing and we're keeping our county and city governments on the up and up by having oversight. Citizen oversight is a great thing for the citizens. Might not be the greatest thing for the government entities, but it is the best thing for citizens to have. Bill Campbell also sent me some information regarding the Jack Turner Dam. In his research, he's found that Jack Turner Dam is supposed to be inspected at least once a year. And with his research with the United States Geological Survey, the last report that he could find was in 2016. So that's very interesting. So I don't know, what that is. Charlotte mentions that the BOC wants the legislature to establish another authority for the courthouse. Charlotte, that authority would be more than just for the courthouse. That is what they call a building authority, or to build things or whatever. But I did check with the legislature about that type of authority, and I think our BOC is sort of out of step with that kind of authority. When talking with Senator Strickland, he had told me Henry County did establish that very type of authority, but it was to build an amphitheater. And he said, and when they do establish those type of authorities, and when they do issue bonds, the the establishment or the facility that they intend to build can usually be a revenue generator that is actually able to pay back the bonding, and it's not something the county would have to pay. But in this case, a courthouse or a government complex is not going to generate revenue to be able to pay back the bonds. So what would end up occurring is those payments would end up being hidden into the M&O, into the general fund. And even though they say you won't raise taxes, then you would incur tax increases if they would need to get additional funds to make sure they pay those bond debts. So that's a bit of trickery that they're up to. Because Senator Strickland said those authorities do exist. In Henry County, they did it for a amphitheater. He said, but the amphitheater generates enough money and more money than needed to pay for the bonds that were issued to build the amphitheater. In Rockdale's case, wanting to issue bonds to build the courthouse under that authority and then say that the taxpayers wouldn't be on the hook for it is inaccurate, and it's misleading. The taxpayers would definitely be on the hook for those bonds. That would be hidden, like I say, within the budget. And if they needed additional revenues to make sure that they were able to meet those payments, then you and I, the taxpayers, would incur millage rate increases to make sure that they could do that. Revenue bonds. So, but and the revenue bonds would be issued under that authority. But just think about it, guys. How would a government complex generate money to pay for itself? It's not a revenue generating type of thing like an amphitheater. So if we were wanting to build an amphitheater or something like that, then this would be the idea revenue, the idea source to do that through that type of authority. But a government complex is not the right fit for that type of authority. And the citizens of Rockdale County don't need to be duped or fooled or tricked into some sort of idiotic scheme that these three clowns come up with. And people say, well, Larry, you're harsh calling these guys clowns. I'm not harsh calling them clowns. You're talking the trash gate people giving away Parker Road. All the nonsense that they pull, the idiot, the stuff that they pulled with the CARES Act money this past year, the stuff that they've pulled with the finance director, the stuff that they've pulled with the communications guy here a little bit back, all the turnover of all these department heads. And we are told we've got to pay them more money so we don't have turnover. Guys, we've turned over almost every department head in the county since we've given these giants to these department heads. Money doesn't retain these kind of individuals. Work environment does. And apparently there's not a good work environment at the Rockdale County Board of Commission. Just saying. Apparently not a good work environment. So guys, I would recommend that we just pay close attention to what's going on here in Rockdale County. Pay attention to what's going on with these funds. Pay attention to the budget. Listen to that budget hearing online on Tuesday. If you can go in person, that's fine. But make sure you listen to it and then make vote accordingly to what is going on with that budget hearing. I was going to also let you guys know the Rockdale Republican Party has decided to do a social hour. So we're going to have a social event starting on first Tuesday of every month. And this coming Tuesday, which is election night, we're having a social at the Whistle Post from 7 to 9 p.m. And they have musical trivia at the Whistle Post. So as chairman of the party, I'd like to invite anybody listening to come out to the Whistle Post on Tuesday night, and let's get to know each other. There'll be no political speakers, no political agenda, but it'll be a good chance for folks with conservative ideology to come out, socialize, get to know each other on a personal level, and know that we're all just people who belong to the same community and have the the same cares at heart about ourselves. So I would like to invite you guys to come out to do that. And guys, if you could just come out, meet us, talk to us, you'll find out that we have more in common than we have different. And it's going to be a great time and a great time of fellowship. But those are the few things that I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm glad that you guys joined me for this brief show. Next week, I intend to go a little longer. I would like to talk about next week in detail and in depth, and we'll probably go like a whole 45 minutes next week, guys, and like blow your socks off. But I just appreciate you guys that showed up tonight. I thank you for coming. Now let's all get off of here. Let's enjoy the Braves and let's root the Braves on so that we can win this World Series and bring it home. And hey, let's go Braves.